There we go. We got the one, the only Destruct in the house, and we met out at the B-side show B-side through Struck.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Struck, because I remember we were chatting a little bit, and I had vibed with the collaborator on the Sharpshooters project we're going to listen to tonight.
Yeah, you were chopping it up with my brother,
yeah.
DJ Zole.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, okay, for sure. And then Struck came up. He's like, this is my guy right here. You got to get him on.
Shout out to Struck. Can't be broke. You already know. Can't be broke.
Yeah, he can't. I mean, and I've heard his story. It's very inspirational, man. So shout out Struck, man. If you're listening tonight, man, you a real one, man. Keep doing you. We all good. We out here.
Right? It's getting destructive out here.
It is a little bit.
that part.
That part. Hey, but Destruct, man, thank you, man. Once again, it means a lot. I'm glad that, game recognized game, and I've been checking out this project, man, and then, of course, you got to see the discography. For me, I mean, if you guys haven't listened to Sharpshooters, not only is this album an amazing underground boom bap style, just bar for bar, you got 14, 13 other albums.
Got almost as much as my age, man. This is like 33, 34, I believe. So it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He's been doing it for a minute. So shout out, to staying consistent, because I know that's really hard to do. So, we'll start the show off like this. What is one of the key things for you as an artist that has been able to keep your momentum to where you're at today, to be able to drop 33 to 34 albums? And I mean, at least, about 10 songs a project, right?
Yeah, just about. I mean, honestly, bro, it says nothing without music. I'm armed for a reason. I live and breathe this. It's more than just, a means to an end. It's my livelihood. It's my therapy. It really gave me a purpose in life. So I'm just blessed to just be here doing it, man. And, my thing is, I haven't seen it all. I haven't done it all, but I've been through enough to have a pretty interesting perspective on things.
Yeah.
So my music's that thin line between life experiences and just creative expression.
Yeah, and you are from Los Angeles, California, East LA.
Born and raised in East Los. Then I was moved around, raised in West Los, all the way to Lancaster, came back, and now I'm in Long Beach.
So you're very familiar then with the area here, I take it here and then.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Shout out to my band, Inner City Soul, which my sax player plays for the legendary Quinto Soul. So we family out here, man.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're attached to the Paramount, so I know there's a lot of history here in East LA.
Dude, and I got a freaking, I don't even know what you call it, a recommendation, or I got like a degree or like something given to me from the city, because I rocked the City Terrace Art Walk a couple years back. So it's beautiful to have that.
So City LA acknowledged you.
Yeah, so they acknowledge your boy. So it felt good, for my hometown to let people know what time it is,
Definitely, man. And I remember too, when I was at B-side, I was on the DJ side, obviously, on the booth over there, and you were going over promoting the album, and as soon as you opened your mouth, and I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. So just that first bar, I don't know what song it was in particular, but the first time I heard you rap, I was like, okay, he does this. Well, I mean, for me, I grew up on independent hip-hop, right? Always bar for bar, pound for pound, my original company, Hot 16s. That's what I grew up on. Like, I wasn't fortunate enough to have recording equipment, so I would freestyle. Where your bars at,
Exactly.
So,
sharpening the skill.
Pen on the lunch table, just beating beats.
We were doing grinding, remember?
Yeah, they're right there.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, don't say we're doing grinding.
I mean, so that's where it started for me, and then it led into, finally getting CDs, going to Best Buy and stuff like that, and it just, one thing led to another. So that's why I knew when I heard you rap for the first time, I was like, oh man, that doesn't just happen overnight,
right?
Type thing. And so you said when we were pre-show, 2007, it really...
That's when I popped out. I mean, I'll be honest, dog. I've been spitting since I was 6, man. That's we talking 94. Then I jumped in the scene when I was barely 18. It's 2007, and it's been a crazy journey ever since.
I mean, and you, man, 2007. So were you ever into battle rap?
Of course. I've taken out many OGs, man. When I'm talking Dumbfounded, Satire, Lyrical Flip, half the project. Shout out to the Project Blowed. I've had some legendary MC battles. That was part of my lineage, coming up.
Have you ever battled Risk?
I haven't. But shout out to Risto. We actually did a joint not too long ago, and he's gonna be rocking with me on my next upcoming event. So
awesome, for sure. Yeah, I'm about to go tie up some stuff tonight with him, so that's why he just came across. I was like, okay, you're Project Blow, and he talked about it before, yeah, so man. I was like,
that's family. And actually, you know what? On top of that, I'm blessed to be rocking with my OG Abstract Rude. We're gonna be celebrating 30 years of the Project Blowed at this year's Rhyme Fest.
That's what I've been seeing.
Honored to be rocking at the LA Coliseum.
Yeah,
so that's
and we got
scratching off the bucket list.
We got, I think, on the 18th to Live and Die in LA.
Nice.
2 as well, right? Coming up here.
I believe so, yeah, right?
There's so much going on. You know what the crazy thing is I feel like when I came here, what I saw of underground hip-hop, it wasn't where it needed to be quite yet. It was there, but I've really seen, Coyote and all these guys who are really getting their flowers and, starting to propel to what, you know, all the whole underground Chicano rap scene,
Right.
you know, Latin America. Like, I really feel like the Raza is getting their flowers now, man.
That part.
Like, straight up. And it's a great thing to see. It's beautiful, man. Because, I mean, hip-hop has been, you know, solely focused on certain dynamics. But then when another race is able to come and shake it up, I mean...
Absolutely. Look, bro, I'll put it to you like this. There's a reason why I flexed my native language on this album. One of the first times I rapped in Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah. I was going to say Brazilian,
I don't know any other, you know, person, especially from LA, that's repping Brazil, let alone Chile, in that combination alone. So in the spectrum...
you're Chilean and Brazilian? So, that's a fire mix.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to the folks. But, you know, in the spectrum of this Latin hip-hop world, I just feel dope to be representing a very niche and, you know, unique side of things. You know what I mean?
I take it, you know, so you are Brazilian. I take it you've been to Brazil, obviously. Have you went and rocked any open mics?
Oh, open mic, show. Shout out to my brother, Fabio Beleza, which is an OG MC out there. We rock some joints. And, yeah, man, I got some crazy stuff that I've recorded and filmed. Shout out to my production company, Resident People. We filmed a couple videos in Rio de Janeiro. You know, Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, I know.
Shout
That's the Mecca. Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, City of God, full in effect.
You got a video with the dude throwing his hands up?
Of course. I got right here, as you can see, I got the big homie, of course, on me.
You got him right there.
And I filmed a couple videos with him, so stay tuned for more videos with the big homie behind me. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying?
So is that considered a wonder of the world?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the craziest, most, like, breathtaking statues you will ever see in your life, bro.
And I think over in India or something, they tried to, like, make some, like, big one, but it didn't even resemble that amount of power.
Honestly, bro, it's one of those things, like, how the hell the pyramids were built, you know? Like,
how was that built?
Like, you look at this, bro, it's on the biggest mountain overlooking the entire Rio de Janeiro, the entire city, and it's nuts how they built it. And the fact that you see, like, lightning bolts hit his head or his hands, it's some crazy ish out there.
Like,
man.
Okay, so it's like this. It's like, you know, someone that worked for the government, right? You go and say some crazy stuff. Someone was at the beach down there. They probably looked up at that mountain. They're like, man, can you imagine if we just... I mean, that's probably what it was.
Probably.
But is there a history on that? We'll keep on the music, but like, was that made in like a modern humanity, or was that made like thousands of years ago?
I wouldn't say thousands, but definitely it was made a long time ago. It was made a long, long time ago. I mean, I want to say maybe as early between the 40s and the 50s. You know what I mean? I got to do a little more homework on that, but for sure, it's like, it's been there for a cool minute.
Yeah, because I mean, when I first saw it, when I think of Brazil and I think of that, I think of the Viva La Bam Bob Burnquist episodes. When they were down there and they were going up, there's like a little car thing that you could take on a trolley up there. That's how you get up there. And then they went to skate out there in Brazil.
Yeah, I forgot Bob is Brazilian too. So that's what's up, man. Shout out to my Brasileiros, man. We holding it down for la cultura.
Oh, Brazilians out there. When I was younger, I had a couple people, you know, you go on chats and you make friends across the world. I made a couple friends from Sao Paulo. Yeah, I had a couple buddies out there just on the internet. Never met in person, but y'all Brazilians get lit though for sure. I like the vibe.
That's the other side of Brazil.
So what is it? So did let me be smart with my words here. What is the big difference right now? Like, okay, obviously we have America, right? Okay, mainstream media. Why isn't there more Southern American artists? Like, you know, you got J Balvin, right? You got your big guys, but I feel like there's so many great artists down there. And why don't they get their shot? Is it financial? Is it exposure? Like, what really does it come down to being from South America trying to make your music worldwide?
I mean, we just diamonds in the rough, bro. I'm sure there's like bigger people out there killing it. Like one of my favorite MCs is Marcelo de Dois, and he's done stuff with like, you know, we talking Justin Timberlake, Pharoah Monch, The Roots, you know what I mean, Wu-Tang people, but of course he's more known in Brazil, not as much as out here. You know what I mean? Like, I think his biggest breakout here was the Sergio Mendes album that was remixed by will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas.
He's from East LA
Who's
too.
an East Los native, right?
I'm trying to get him on the show. That's a bucket list.
But yeah, I mean, there's like, you know, people like Anita that, you know, from Brazil that are blowing up on a obviously grander scale. But yeah, everything else, man, it's like your boy, you know, we just diamonds in the rough. I mean, my slogan's the best you never heard for a reason. So you got to dig a little deeper to find them gems and be like, oh snap, I've been sleeping on this for a minute. But yeah, it's a really unique part of the world, man, from our food to the music to the women to the rhythms, everything from Brazil. Like, I'm definitely like blessed to be from such a unique like part of this world. Even the language, like Portuguese is like a cross between French and Spanish, so it's a trip.
Yeah, that's why that's why I was like, okay, because I saw on your profile the Brazilian flag. I was like, oh, homie speaks Portuguese for sure.
Yeah, falo português. Better than my Spanish. Mi español más o menos, meu português.
So what is the big difference though you really see, and is it like a dialect?
It's dialect, the steez. Like, for example, buenos dias in Spanish, good morning. In Portuguese, bom dia. So there's like,
Bom dia?
Yeah, you can just see my tone switches up. There's a different swag. There's a different juguito de swag. Like, you know.
Because it's got that French.
Todo bien, no? And then in Portuguese, it's tudo bem. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a difference.
I can hear the French. It's that, like...
Ahora yo estoy en el radio, agora tô no rádio. See, the R's goes from the Spanish rolling them R's to the H sound.
So you're trilingual then?
I am trilingual, man.
That is fire.
Yeah, you already know.
Oh man, you hit me with, yo, let's get it with here.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
I can't even learn one language out here, man. God damn. But guys, just a reminder too, if you're just tuning in, we're on KQBH LP in Los Angeles, California, on 101.5 FM, a community service in Boyle Heights Art Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on KQBHLA.com. And tonight we have Destruct out here from Los Angeles, California, because he's been all around. And we're out here talking about his Sharpshooters album, which we're about to dive into and talk about for the next 10 minutes before I load this amazing flash drive. I've been bumping this thing.
No, I appreciate
that. I love that invasion, that Area 52. Right. So let's start with that.
Let's do it.
Okay, we got Area 51.
All right.
I feel like there's something in there.
There's something in there.
And I felt, too, the photo you gave me, you said pick a song from the project.
Right.
It gave me Area 51 vibes, like you out in the desert. That's what. So when I looked at all the tracks, I was like, Area 52.
Yeah, man. You know, my old studio, right, where I've been running for 10 years, and I was blessed to have like OGs like Elder Sensei from Artifacts and Medusa and Scarab and Eptos Uno. You know, just a lot of great people in there. Mm-hmm. The landlord, I guess, had an infatuation with aliens. So when I would come in, literally it was like completely blacked out. You know, I'm talking the foam, soundproof foam everywhere. Whole bunch of instruments and a whole bunch of alien stuff, like a sign that said welcome all species and pictures of aliens doing meditation. It was just really trippy. And I was like, you know what? I like this. I think I'm going to switch it up because I ain't effing with the government. I'm just called Area 52. You know what I mean? Because Area 51 is like some unknown base in Roswell, New Mexico, whatever. So that's why I was like, Area 52, I'm going to make it a little bit original. Like we're going to take you to places in space a little more unheard of. Dimensions unheard of. Yeah. Exactly. So when Invasion, it's funny because, you know, it's not necessarily on some, you know, sci-fi alien tip. It's more like, you know, remember there was a time when green cards used to say resident alien. I remember my mama, her identification card had resident alien on top. So that's what I meant in regards of invasion is like, you know, my people's us as immigrants, we coming through, taking over.
I've seen only one of those in my life, and that was when I was a lot younger. My buddy's dad, he was like, you know, all the stuff on the table, and me thinking aliens.
Right.
I saw his stuff on the counter. I asked my friend, I'm like, oh, what's that? Your dad's an alien? But I'm like, you know, but for me, I'm growing up in this white Anglo-Saxon form of school where that's what we're, you know, aliens and this and that.
Right.
That I've only seen one of those one time.
Hey man, that's why I say what comes out of Area 52, invasion in a galaxy far, far away, make you wonder if they'll accept immigrants around my way. You know?
And in the production of all this, big question. So is DJ Zole, is he the producer of this as well?
Yes, sir. Produce,
engineer,
mixed, mastered,
everything.
Did the cuts. He's a madman. He's amazing.
And I know he's been on the scene. I found his Spotify and all his DSPs. Did my research. He's been on the scene for a minute too.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's been DJing for OGs like Sage Francis, Abstract Rude, to say the least.
Yep.
Also
I've done the research and I see that. So, how did you guys make? Like, was this in the forefront? Like, you knew this project was going to happen? Have you done projects in the past?
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, let's do a full project together.
No, we just been cool peoples for a long time in the scene, man. And we ended up working with a lot of the same people, especially out of the Project Blowed. We rocked a lot of the past anniversary shows. And so from our first vinyl that dropped in 2021, The Best You Never Heard, we did the title track, Sharpshooters, right? Mm-hmm. And we're like, dude, the energy and the connection felt so right. That's like, hey man, let's let this turn into something else. So it's dope how a single from my first vinyl
came into a whole project.
Came into fruition to a whole full length project.
Awesome.
You know?
And I take it fully independent.
Of course. Well, shout out to Mind the Wax, which is an amazing independent label from Greece. They're the ones that pushed out my two vinyls.
Oh,
you can even buy it at Target, which is a trip. So yeah, man. So
wow.
So with that being said, you know, Zole coming from such a diverse background. I mean, he's a killer house drum and bass DJ as well. So if I have him flex it on a hip hop tip and give me some amazing out of this world production like on Invasion Area 52.
Yeah, that was
you know,
bang.
It's dope just working with people that bring something new out of me and something new out of them. And you know what I mean? If the blend makes sense at the end of the day, the music's gonna speak for itself.
Exactly. And that's the best part about artistry is you know when the message is being reciprocated in a way that you want it to, because the crowd response, That's where it matters, because you can push the DSP, but you're not in the car with them. You're not going to see the response or the hateful comments you might get on the track.
Of course,
you know?
And on top of that, you know, in the digital world, it feels good to be analog. You know, with vinyl coming back, you know, bigger than ever, it just feels awesome to have my second vinyl in less than 2 years and be pushed on a whole other tip.
I have a lot of friends who are getting on vinyl, and even for me, I mean, 10 years ago, when I saw G-Eazy's album on vinyl, I was like, wait, I thought CDs came after vinyl.
Yeah.
Just in my head, you know, I'm like, well,
and that was the first thing to, you know, get out of Best Buy and a lot of major stores. They just became obsolete, you know. But vinyl somehow, this tangible art is still
social media, bro. I feel like that vintage, you know, because I do vintage motorcycles, so it's like a niche.
Exactly. It's like a collector's item. Because, you know, some people, you know, I think I heard half the people who buy vinyl, more than half, don't even own a record player. They don't even own a turntable.
I collect them and don't open them.
Right? But they just like the way it looks. It's like they have, you know, as posters designed for the crib. You know what I mean?
I used to go to Streetlight Records, Santa Cruz, California. Shout out Streetlight out in Santa Cruz. I used to go to the dollar bin, the single bin. Right now in my office, I've got like, you know, Too Short, I Love featuring Trick Daddy and Sugar Free and T.I., all these just Nate Dogg and JD.
Right.
All these random singles that, you know, people get for the club, and it says on it, club promotion, do not sell.
Promotional use only.
Yeah, so I
miss those days, man.
Yeah, so
that don't exist anymore. I remember going to Amoeba and straight $1.50 crates. That don't exist anymore.
Yeah, so I knew that, so I got a gang of them at the crib, and so I put them just decorative type thing. But then I was like, this is cool. So then I started buying vinyls.
Right.
And I got a good little plethora of them unopened. You know, we got These Things Happen on vinyl, unopened, banger album. You know,
and you never know, bro. Like if you know, it might turn into, you know what I'm saying, something really worth something later on.
Keith is collecting Blu-rays.
It's crazy.
Why? Because he knows there's something with that. Even Eminem, if you look at the recent Eminem interviews, he's got this huge wall of cassette tapes.
Oh, yeah. I got my VHSs on deck, too. So you already know.
Those original Disneys. Those 90s Disneys.
Dude, and you know what? I just recently moved, right, to Long Beach. I'm a Long Beach local now. LBC, what up?
562.
I left behind a lot of those classic Disney tapes. I'm thinking, man, like now to see it come back and like really like gain some worth. I'm like, man, it's like Pokemon cards. You know? I should have held on to them, you know?
The Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
right?
Man. I had that diamond hollow blue eyes white dragon that all of us would get all wet over at school, right?
Or the hologram Charizard, you know? Simpler times, man. Simpler times.
You know, peak entertainment, man, was like, you know, when you had Chef from South Park performing at WrestleMania. You know, that's fire. That's what I'm saying. That's like peak humanity, man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Isaac Hayes, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just Chef. Hey, what's up, children?
Right. And you know what? Back to that WrestleMania. You know, paints the image of what Sharpshooters is. You know, I'm paying homage to that classic 90s nostalgia of the Heart Foundation. You know what I'm saying? So that's why me and Zole
I was going to ask you that. You got that Bret Hart, the pink, and okay, so you're a big WWF fan.
Yes, when the F was still in it, when he didn't get the F out. It's still cool now, it's coming back, but it's funny how I came up with this before the wrestling boom even came back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to hear like Vince McMahon go through all his crazy trials, and so when I say on the album, we're still coming back to kick Vince McMahon's ass, and that line just hits so much harder now, you know?
You know, that's crazy. I'll always remember my peak of WWE was when him and Trump were going at it.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. And then whoever lost had to shave their head. It's hilarious.
And Bobby Lashley beat Mark Henry or the Great Khali.
Umaga,
part
of the bloodline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So that was like you already like, McMahon's gonna win, right?
And turns out he lost. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, Trump ain't cutting his hair. Come on now.
You mean the wig? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the toupee or.
You don't have another, another pair. It's an expensive. Expensive wig.
Expensive. It's more than it costs more than his suit.
Yeah, it's made out of like leopard hair and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, hey,
it's expensive texture.
It's some exotic, like got Kevlar in it or something. Right? It's got caviar in it. He can just eat.
It's caviar.
It's got fish and fillet and Diet Coke.
There it is.
That's what he likes.
There it is.
But guys, we're just gonna take a quick little intermission here. We're gonna continue.